What is going on, family? Hope you're doing well. I'm just about to get back to my feet. I have to say, I missed you guys a lot. And yeah, let's get on with it. The biggest question that we have is it time to buy alts? And that's the biggest question I'm getting. People holding dry powder and people actually struggling to keep their money in their pockets. We were just talking about in the Discord how the money is burning people in their pockets. So before I jump onto that, let me just say hello to everybody. You're all in the building. I can see most of you legends here. Fantastic. Yeah, let's get on with it, man. So guys, look, a lot of people are feeling the beginning of what I call a a euphoria, and I just want to let you know, actually, you are justified in your feelings. However, however, when is it a good time to buy alts? Because this is the $1 million question that people are struggling with. And here's a couple of things that I'm going to go through today that should make everybody here feeling bullish. This is the kind of stuff that people will be looking back into a year from now, knowing that they've obviously participated in the market. And there is a lot of signals. I saw something that was posted in the Discord today. This has to coincide, of course, with the global liquidity cycle. We're no different to it. But guys, overall, so let me take you through this article first and foremost. Analysts anticipate altcoins to outperform and a bullish Q4. Now, this is very important. The overall sentiments in terms of buying alts, and I know a lot of us are not in BTC, but right now BTC dominance is quite high, as you can probably see here. So if you could see this, let me just show you this. So this is the total market cap, and if you see the BTC dominance here, we're still very, very high. Okay, the dominance is way high to have an alt season. Now, what does that mean? That means many of the altcoins that we look at are relatively undervalued. And then within that relative discounts in the market, you've also got to look at the fact that you've got projects that are popping off 10%, 4% on average, which is what I saw the alts moving. And everybody obviously wants to jump in on the bandwagon. But which altcoins are undervalued and which altcoins are overvalued? And I think this is a question of value now. It's not a question of FOMO. I'm telling people, look, try to get value maximum where you can. If you actually bought, let's take an example of SUI. So this is the SUI chart. And I've been posting about SUI a long time in the group and just talking about the ecosystem, what this could mean. But if you actually see SUI is obviously performing very well against BTC. But the interesting thing with SUI is it's only up from, let's just take a measurement here. So no one's probably caught that. From there to where it is right now, you're only looking at 100% move in the grand scheme of things. Of course, would you like to buy this obviously under $1? Ideally, yes. Could it come back to that? Possibly. And one of the reasons why that could happen is because, guys, the Bitcoin does not have a historical rate cuts, performance benchmark, but the S&P 500 in its history always crashes or corrects after a rate cut, right? So will we get more opportunities to buy these altcoins? Yes, by all means. You can dollar cost average. I can show you plenty of projects, for example, like ALF right now, that are undervalued in terms of where they are, both in market cap and also in price. Look, ALF here, 160, 166, is still way below that psychological level where it needs to be over $2. So you have to find a valuable point where you say, okay, I'm not going to buy beyond that, right? So there is a lot of confusion out there, and of course, macro analysts, people becoming macro analysts, and talking about where these values lie. But if you set yourself a decent target, both of course in tokens and in what your value is, what you're willing to pay for those tokens, you should be able to have a much better way of dealing with your psychology at the moment. But this is huge, late 2024. So this is what we were all expecting. And that's all because of Bitcoin dominance and the way it is right now. As the sell-off took hold last few weeks, Bitcoin dominance, which obviously measures the market cap of BTC against the rest of alts, decreased by 1.3%. In comparison, the market cap of all crypto assets, excluding the top 10, increased by 4.4%. And this is why the total 3, which I think is still obviously nowhere near where it needs to be, it's got to go and climb above this. I'd probably say to start looking even more positive, we need to get over $626 billion. So this is where we play. We are, if you're, it's weird. If you're thinking, obviously, imagine, Bitcoin gets over $100,000 and you see the alts, and the moment it starts to either go higher or it breaks down. And again, this happens in every top of every top of the bull cycle. It happened in the last cycle. People were kind of buying alts late into the BTC run, and they were just literally long in BTC. That's exactly what it works out to be. So overall, guys, we are in a tremendous place right now. This is a graph that I've shared with you. It's called the alt buy signal by Dune Analytics. And it's always been a case where do we find value here? So if you look at the last from June this year, right, the altcoins, right, were below this value point, right, that 10K point. And they've obviously come back up. Now, obviously, this includes everything, including large caps. But are we in a situation where we need to buy altcoins? Yes, we are. And you can see here where BTC is, obviously, on top of the all-time high. It's indicating to obviously buy a house. And right about this line, this green line, we're very close to here. We've just broken out of that. But every live stream that I did, we were swimming below these very good value points. So my suggestion is this: a lot of you who have stable coins, who are already allocated in this cycle, keep hold of your stable coins and buy value. In fact, the projects like Alf, like Heroes and Mavia, they are still way undervalued. So both in market cap and in price. And I think you're going to have to start looking at things and seeing, look, if you see here 130, this has a long way to go in terms of accumulation. You can see this green candle here on the daily, very, very positive. Could you dollar cost average once you confirm that the market sentiment is going to change? By and large, if we go back to this article, the market sentiment is that we will be going into an alt season, a massive run during this winter. So what I was saying to the guys at the Discord, winter is coming. How prepared are you? And are you buying a lot of shit coins? Are you still all in micro caps? These are questions you've got to ask yourself. Are you being sold the 100x dreams? Because a lot of people are biting that. And sadly, the chances are, some projects will get their fair share of the alt season. And by the way, in terms of like bullish or bearish targets, guys, this cycle is meant to be the biggest that we've ever seen. By all means, institutional adoption. You've got tons of other cryptos mainstream. You've got nearly a billion billion people across the world interacting with crypto. So with all of that, Altcoin's open interest has declined by 55% from its all-time high, signaling a reduced speculation and a possible seller exhaustion. The ETH BTC ratio remains its 360 65-day simple moving average, indicating a broader underperformance of ETH since the merge. And it's a very good article. Now, the forecast reinforced by a 55% drop on altcoins interest suggests that the seller exhaustion, although this is going to be something that we need to continue monitoring. So my point is this, guys. When I look across all of these different indicators, this is an indicator that measures the price metrics, social metrics, and this is always in every cycle, this indicator always between a bull market and a bear market, it gives you an indication of value. So an indication of value right here is, this is where I've got it now, is November 2021. And in November 2021, you can see here the social metrics were off the chain. The price metrics were going hot, right? And of course, the overall on-chain metrics were also extremely hot. So don't believe in people that tell you that certain coins will not absolutely go into the billions and billions of dollars in market cap. That's a fact. Now, in addition to that, the other things I'm seeing is, if we look at this chart, okay, after 6 months of sideways price action, it is hard to imagine Bitcoin just going up, let alone surpassing 100,000. But following the previous cycles, that might have been, this might have been an exception. And there's an expectation that later this year, fireworks could start. Now, the mid-cycle top in 2024 was a far reach, being that the price needed to make a new all-time high, this year, which is obviously way earlier than previous cycles. So we've had all-time highs in the halving year. And then obviously, if you look at this, price is now bouncing between from the Gaussian support, and obviously this is now, Bitcoin has its very consistent, has been very consistent when it touches the green line here. And overall, the price of Bitcoin, or the projection of the price of Bitcoin from this next move up, should obviously see us around that 100,000 to about $109,000. Incredibly bullish, if you look at that. So let's see if I can show you the other chart. So all in all, guys, there is another sentiment in the market. we've got to take the everything with a grain of salt, and we've got to see now what happens if we decide to go the other direction, which is possible, which is why you need to have some stable coins on the side. So this is in specific to certain moon boy mentality in crypto, especially amongst retail investors. And this, according to this analyst, altcoins were created by whales to pump and dump scheme with a very strong marketing. Okay. Now, obviously, the crypto game is all about survival. And what can we have if we invalidate, if next week the rate cuts come, S&P 500 corrects a little bit, and of course, Bitcoin reacts to that. Now, I know everyone's saying, obviously, Bitcoin is kind of like a hedge against many things, but we've got to be smart in both directions. So the bull case is we go straight over to all-time highs in November, December this year, smashing all records. We have a massive alt season. But the second case, if we do correct from here, okay, you can see that there are two kind of fair value gaps here, one between 48 to 44, and obviously the catastrophic one between 33 and 27. I don't think that's very likely. I don't think that's going to happen, but you've got to see both sides of the coin. If we do correct, I'm seeing that mid 50s that we've all survived. We bought altcoins at an incredible discount, and we have nothing to worry about. This puts us back into that, what I consider to be perhaps maybe a slightly longer cycle into 2026. Of course, there's recession looming, but wait for the Fed rates. And I would say, even though we had those bullish outcomes, the argument then is going to be how much, what the rate cut's going to be. We know percentages that are being thrown around now. We can see positive alts movement, and we can see that overall we should be buying and dollar cost averaging. All right. So yeah, with that being said, guys, I'm going to greet all of you and welcome you back to the DXB crypto family. Caveman's loving his, yeah, my brother got in at 70, was it 76, 77? Congratulations, bro. Absolute legend. Alf Ted Marvia, finger. What's up, Gareth? What's good on, Mary? What's happening, bro? Casper, Sui, Mantra, Brett, Pepe, Popcat, and a moon bag of Okamami. Now, what you see here, guys, is obviously Mary's been with me since 2023. He's an OG Casper guy. He's also a Tau, Bitensa Tau whale, fantastic investor. What you're noticing there is he's obviously got several large caps. Now, this could be because of entry. And of course, he mentions that Okamami is his moon bag. So yeah, that's a solid list. Look, not everybody can make the kind of returns that we want to make in this cycle. So of course, a lot of people have to take more risks. And but yeah, I do like your portfolio. I think it's incredibly solid. What's up, Sanj? How are you, brother? Good evening. Yeah, let me put Unai Emery up, man. Yeah, good evening to you too, bro. Yeah, good evening, brother. Keep calm and crypto fam. We're so nearly there. FUD. Yeah, absolutely. All of that stuff is good, man. It's the final countdown. Hey, my brother, man, spot on, man. Listen, your community is so strong. Yeah, absolutely, man. Listen, legends in there. I have to talk about the community because these guys are resistant to kind of FUD. They are resistant to any what I consider to be any kind of just mature, as mature as you can get. Now, obviously, in our private community, we reveal what we hold, and you guys would have noticed that I've chopped many cryptos off, not because of the projects they are, but because of the fact that some of those projects are basically in my personal portfolio, and I don't really see the reasons of the reason to hold a $500 here on a shit coin and another 500. I actually freed up some cash. I've cut down 60% of my portfolio. I'm actually down to under 20 tokens, and right now you can see here, even this DGen portfolio that I have, we are outperforming in that blue line. We are way above what the market and BTC strength is. So yeah, good to see you, brother. Aether, Brett, and Dynex bought recently. Dry powder gone. Now chilling. Popcorn at the ready. Yeah, solid projects. Absolutely solid projects. With some of these projects, like for example, with Brett and with Aether, I mean Dynex is relatively small in terms of market cap, but really the Aether at 200 million. Let's have a look. So you've got to understand, guys, some of these projects will roll into the multiple billions of dollars. And I think ATH is one of those. As long as you're willing to dump it way before, 214 million has some inflation, but it is absolutely the most profitable deep in project. So you got to ask yourself, where's big money going to go, right? In terms of like Deepin, for example. And of course, Peak is the ultimate big cap Deepin project. But I think this is way under kind of Render's market cap. And of course, like I said many times before, tokenomics, as long as you're prepared to sell by next year, this project produces more revenue and GPU power than most of the what I consider to be in the deep in space. And of course, the project also has gaming and AI as specific narratives for that computational power. So yeah, solid stuff there, man. Peter has Casper and Alpha, the main place. AGI, AI Tech, based AI are exposure bags. I love the mentality. You know, that is a solid list of cryptocurrencies because you're not on the fringes of the riskiest, you know, like your, I don't know, like your open GPU, or, you know, that could go 100x, but could is the key word there. You don't want to live on hope. Rather, you should have an expectation of what you're going to do in this bull cycle. You should be able to calculate, this is what I want out with the minimum fuss. And then, of course, I'm going to play this game, this casino game. So, yeah, solid stuff, brother. Thinking on Tectum is a great play to go all in this bull cycle because, of course, Peter. Yeah, so Tectum is solid. It just had a very, very good price action, but I think, you know, in terms of value, it's still under the $10 psychological price, which means it is way under value. We know what this project could do, and I think this will go into the multiple hundreds of dollars. So even if you didn't buy this at $5 or $7 or $8, anytime you buy this under $10, I think you're still getting a pretty good deal. Again, I would wait to put some limit orders, some cheeky limit orders as well on your exchange, and see if you can pick up some more Tectum, maybe if we get a sell-off next week, which you have to be prepared for. And you know, at the end of the day, guys, we've all been here, we've seen it, we've done it. Now every single person here is a seasoned vet. You know, the crypto market is full of stories where people just FOMO, and as long as we can control that, we're good. Because what I like, Peter, is the bag that you have should stop you. So this is what I call an anti-FOMO bag. This is the anti-FOMO kit. You've got closed bags and plus exposure to some pretty good AI tokens. My brother from the Netherlands, big up to yourself, Hamza. I hope you're doing well. And yeah, solid guy, man. What a legend. Tele Monster X's, would you, okay. So if you want to know, I mean, in terms of Monster X's, we can go with we can go probably up to 50x in my conservative estimation. I don't think any project that I talk about will do 100x. None. So that's out of the question. Of course, you know, if your small market cap gaming project does 100x, you know, something goes from to 5 million to, you know, 500 million or $1 billion, that, you know, those cases will be there. But those are not what I plan for. I try to get the value between probably 20 to about 50x. And I think Tectum is a case in point. I did a quick analysis on Tectum, actually. The base case scenario, even if Tectum goes to like $1.82 billion, you're still ripping up, you know, 30x to about 40x if it goes higher than that. Now, it could go higher than that. And I always say that no one's going to sell this at the top and no one's going to actually buy this at the bottom. So we've got, you know, we've got Tectum. The interesting one here, and I always say to people, you know, ALF looks quite obvious to me. Again, I spent all day looking at, you know, mining activity on ALF, but ALF to CASP is probably one of the biggest upsides you could have in crypto right now, because $3 billion, 3.94 billion, yeah, $4 billion. This is a very, very good comparison. Now, it's not going to do a CAS, of course. It could do more, and CAS could go into that Cardano level, you know, or could something like ALF go and do ultimately what Cardano did? and Alf goes into something completely different. I mean, Cas goes into something completely different. We don't know, but I'll take $5 billion for this project any time of the week, and even lower estimates, right? Even to where Casper is right now makes a lot of sense for me to buy this at about $1.60 or below if we dip. So that's one consideration. Now, if you want to go moon case, it's something that obviously I used to compare was Casper versus Cardano. So let's do that because I still hold Cas and a lot of it. And initially, when I actually compare this to ADA, let's go. Where's Cardano? So let's go to Cardano, Casper. So when I did this comparison back in 2023, early 2023, about January, February, the X gains were incredible, but Casper has grown so much. If it goes to where Cardano is today at $12 billion, you're looking at a 3.5x. But let's go to the all-time high because that's where the real numbers are. So for Casper, if Casper does a Cardano and goes to $95 billion, right, you have a 23x. This is absolutely what Casper, top Casper, should be aiming for. I mean, that would be incredible. Now, from exactly my entry, this would be ridiculous. Now, is that going to happen? Would it hit $93 billion? I think that's a big ask. So I would still stick to my range of about $1.5 to about $3, maybe 80 billion to 50 billion. I think that's still incredibly attractive. So yeah, moon cases, I mean, for a lot of these projects, let's look at Heroes of Mavia, right? Let's look at Axie. So Heroes of Mavia to Axie. Axie is at $695 million right now. If Mavia goes there, it's a 16x, nearly 17x on your money, right? Under $1 billion. So it's kind of weird because what that price would be, about $18. Now, if you look at that, a lot of people will take good profits out of Mavia at those levels. So I would suggest, look, investing in these cryptocurrencies right now, it's, and then obviously if this goes to the Axie all-time high, which is very, very tough, competition is solid for all cryptocurrencies, but you're looking at a 250x. Now, will that happen? I don't think so. That's moon boyish, but I could see $22 because it just went to $10 immediately, like in the mid to short term. And of course, longer than that, even if we look at projects like, let's have a look at Sandbox. So to go to where Sandbox is right now, again, $19 AL 14x as opposed to 22, and then all-time high here, 163x with a market cap of $6 billion. That is, yeah, that could be a target. Now think about, again, what Alephium can do as a layer one. So the altcoins that we have, and there's no coincidence that these actually tend to, when there's a market recovery, this bounces. And predominantly it's made of these current cryptos that I'm talking about. So you've got to sometimes see where these things can go. Let's take Gala as well. Gala Games, of course, not the same project, but 700 million. That is again 16.8, and Gala's all-time high. It's about $5 billion. That is a 129x, $170 Mavia. So again, guys, if obviously Mavia with its kind of potential, if it goes there, then you're looking at something that could get you a very good return in this bull market. Now, I'm not asking anyone to go and buy Mavia. I think you guys know that I hold the token, and this could be one of those ones that really does well in this cycle. Of course, nobody knows, but I'm just only going by facts of what the project is capable of. Listed on Binance would be a catalyst, right? This is already on the base chain. That's a very good catalyst. Base listing would be another catalyst, Coinbase, right? Then what do you have? I mean, already we've got listings here that are, yeah, so Bybitgate, Aerodrome Finance. If it's on Aerodrome, the chances are at some point it will be available on Binance. So crypto.com as well, very good exchange. Bitget Mexi. I think their next flurry, Bybit, is excellent as well. That is a very, very good exchange. But the holy grail is Mexi and Binance for this. And if they could get that, then you can start seeing why it's not beyond reasonable doubt that this could go to maybe $4 or $5 billion, and you're looking at a potentially a 100x cryptocurrency in your bag. My feeling is $50 to $100 is quite doable. I'd take a 50x from the current point. I'd probably exit the market around that and maybe leave a small moon back. So yeah, very, very good conversation. Sam, what on earth? Bro said, should I put 500 into crypto or clothing business? Investors, don't make me laugh, man. I'm on the edge. I could start exit strategy and enjoy the ride. Absolutely, yeah. Look, a lot of the exits will, in that next phase where you just have the candle after candle after candle, and you start to create a bit of distance between ourselves and the low. In our community, I think that will be the talk of our every day. Like that's going to be our core discussion on when to sell these cryptos. And ideally, I would want us to be out of the market. The sooner we recoup good money, the better, because you could just sit back, relax, and play with the house money. What's happening? Oh, Steve in the building as well. Best team in the game. Thank you so much, bro, man. I got struck down by Mr. T. I got struck down by crazy virus. Yeah, Patriot in the building, my brother. Hope you're doing well. In Belton in the house. My peoples. How fast will altcoins pump? 30%, give or take, 3 months. Look, I think, look, three months would be about the average, but you could have that 2 to 3 weeks where things just go absolutely insane. So really depends. But once we pop off, we just know it's just like taking a lift to the 100th floor. Going up the Burj Khalifa, you start seeing a massive difference or distance between where you got in. And again, I talk to a lot of people about the entry prices right now. And if you're down on any coins and you believe in it, add to it. If you're significantly down, and I'm talking about 50% or more on certain coins, be prepared to let them just go to waste. Because at the end of the day, if you sell it and it pumps, you're not going to forgive yourself. But if you're down 10, 20% and you're thinking about 5% here, and you're thinking about switching positions, because you can still get most of your money out, I do believe you can switch to better place for sure. Bro, Clint, man, I'm still feeling a bit funny, but yeah, all good, brother. Thank you for the wishes. Yeah. First things first, does Trump winning change? Yeah, absolutely. It adds to the sentiment. It's funny. It's funny you say that, because the Trump. Here's something that the market is pricing. So, if you go Trump, Harris polls. So let's have a look at this. This is quite interesting, and so Harris leads Trump by 47 to 42% in this. 53% of voters with the debate say Harris won. Now, this had a massive impact because obviously the market is pricing in who the candidate is. I mean, who the president is going to be. So this actually has more. I would say it has more impact on the S&P 500, of course, and to some extent crypto, but the markets didn't like that. And overall, I think this is going to be something that, listen, Trump is not a great debater, especially when he comes up against somebody in the ilk of, somebody who's well spoken. But having said that, he was landing some blows. But overall, the sentiment was that she came out on top because she was just a little bit more articulate. Now, the markets want Trump. Crypto wants Trump, right? That's what we want. And it was funny because there was a point where he talked about, or she actually accused him of obviously taking innovation away from America, and that was his point. That I think that's when he should have dropped the cannon and said, look at our situation with, like, for example, emerging technology, like the new fintech globally right now is in Dubai, is in Singapore. So that was an opportunity for crypto to be mentioned, but it is definitely a factor, and it is going to be even more of a factor. And I think next week's rate cuts, if since the since records began, the S&P 500 obviously tracked with the rate cuts a lot longer than Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is fairly new to this game, but I think there will be some kind of a reaction to that. So yeah, we will see a topsy-turvy until we get a clear understanding of who is actually leading the national polls consistently. And of course, once they start going into the states to campaign, that's all going to be taken into effect. But the market wants Trump, and anything less, I think, will have a slight impact on the sentiment. But will it have impact in terms of the money printing, the macroeconomics by large? I think the Democrats will also do the same. In fact, maybe they may even print some more, according to some analysts. So yeah, I also put 400 in Ali before I knew about it, and I did waste my cash. So that's artificial liquid intelligence, if I'm correct. Listen, I held this and I sold it in the bear market. So look, one thing that this project has, if you guys were here in the bear market, so this obviously was this was launched towards the end of the bull market here, 2022, really not the best time, pumped up a little bit, but Ali's obviously not reacted anything like it should towards the AI pump that we've had. So if you go to March this year, so let's just go forward with this. Yeah, look at that little, it's literally done a slight pump here, but nothing. I mean, I don't think I would, if this is the same token we're talking about, I would let this go. A lot of the bear market discussions were which one was going to be better. I know a few friends who got wrecked with artificial liquid intelligence because they should have bought Fetch AI, and this was either or. So yeah, if that's the one you're talking about, then I would say definitely do consider changing to a more newer AI project. Yeah, DOP, Cave, I have to bring up your project, brother. So this is the data ownership protocol, which my brother got into. Very interesting project, Bybit, Gate.io, decent exchange listings, 35% in circulation. What's interesting about this is more about the actual, the actual project and what they're trying to do. And I don't think it's caught the wind yet. Still fairly small. I haven't actually bought some yet, but yeah, very good find. And I think, listen, I know you have a very good eye for for these things. $26 million. It's got a bit of a sell off here, 35% in volume, and yeah, but nevertheless, decent Twitter following as well. Also, my mom said that. Give it away about. Oh, okay. About peak. Oh, okay. When she hears that live, she will always chant Corpo instead of. Corpo is another good buy. Corpo, if anyone's looking for a value, because that's all we want. We just want to get value now. We're sick and tired of putting money into what's pumping. And if you guys don't know that by now, then I think we're making the same mistake again. We're not going to go anywhere anytime soon. You've got to buy deep value. And does this have pumpamentals with gaming season? Yep. So this, if you remember the token launch and the subsequent rise to, we got into this at around 28 cents, and we bought some more up. So average price only came down for me when this thing crashed below that, around these areas in the last few weeks when we were buying. So I've literally basically, got all my tokens and more, and I've spent next to nothing for them. So what happens from here? I think, listen, a lot of the gaming projects are in deep value zone. Gaming is not done anything. However, few of these, I can show you few of these gaming tokens that I'm looking at. Moon Tropica is one. The community know that I hold this. Volume's up 55%, but it's only $82,000, accounting for the 55% of that volume. Moon Tropica is a very good project. Still around that $20 million, I would say. I think CoinMarketCap is wrong. What else moved today? I saw Prime jumping up, still below $10. If this is a $100 token or $100 plus, what is that? $78 to 10x. Forget about this idea of market cap, guys. You should use market cap when you find a good fundamental project that is low cap. Brilliant. But if you just buy tiny cryptos, you're just not going to make too much money, or not going to make some safer returns. I'm not saying to buy this, but gaming in large, if there was a sector right now that I would be putting some eyes on, it's been the most disappointing in this entire cycle. The people I know that made decent money from gaming this year, unless it's like a small flips here and there, absolutely, very, very small. So if we look at this, let's remove PYR. Okay. In fact, I need to add back in Wilder World because I'm tracking it. Wild. So let's talk about gaming for a minute, because I know a lot of the community is very much down on their gaming tokens, right? So if you look at gaming right now and you see bounces, you can see the 90-day performance on all gaming projects is absolutely decimated. Like if you look at these, so 90-day performance, 22%, Wilder World, 53%, Myria, 40% down. And that case continues. Marvia, 40%, 27% for Gamercoin. Carrot here, 62% down, plus October unlock. After October, Carrot should be in all our radars. GFAL refusing to dip under 1 cent. And, of course, this week, they were in Dubai. There's an interesting chart in our group about GFAL. But if you look at gaming in general, Creo Engine. So shout out to the community. I think we bought the there was a massive dump by a French group influencers, and this went all the way. I think it went just like something ridiculous, 1 cent or 2. I can't remember what it was. So we scooped up. Now the same amount of tokens today are worth $5,000 for every 100,000 of those. But if you look at the market cap here, For so let's go to Creo Engine. A very, very strong performance in the last kind of 24 hours. Overall, where's the market cap here? Yeah, so $14 million in market cap, still in that market cap territory. But could you have an argument that this maybe is going to go to at least $1, possibly? But the performance is absolutely there. So over the course of 90 days, including the massive dump, Creo Engine is actually up by 3%. And then you start to go down this list. You know, you've got stuff like Meta Hero here. Look at OTK. OTK is the only gaming token that I track that's up 48% over the last 90 days. Okay, 48% in the last 90 days. So it's quite strong. You've got one here, GPT, Game GPT, absolutely dead. And of course, the rest is all there. PlaySap actually over 90 days is up 4%. So gaming is an area that I'm very much interested in making money this year, only because I think we'll get a solid gaming season. But you don't want to buy too many of these. You know, for example, you know, you've got Mutiny, you've got R Games, Metafighter, you've got ICNX, Rainmaker Games. You want to put a small amount into the micro caps, and then you want to get yourself laced up with something that is going to catch, you know, fire in Neo Tokyo or somewhere like that. So yeah, it's it's an interesting time. Steve said, talk ROI, Sui or Sui pad. Sui's look, Sui has a lot going for it. I think Sui for me is a multi-cycle play. I talked about Sui with the community. Like if you look at some of my early posts, there's actually a section in our Patreon group that is called the Sui ecosystem. And I know all of the tokens, in fact, quite well. Now, Sui for me, could Sui do a Solana type of run? Possibly, from the last cycle. The overall value here, Sui shares the kind of, I would say, the entire market with Aptos. So if you're going to talk about Aptos, if you're going to talk about Sui, you have to kind of mention Aptos and see collectively what the move projects will get up to. But I believe $20 Sui is not beyond, as a kind of like, you know, mid to base case. It's not beyond the, you know, 20x from here. I could see that. Could I see 30? I think that would be, if all, you know, big money starts to absolutely take. I was about to post something, grayscale Sui Trust. So with projects like Sui, if you were just a degen and you were you were conditioned by the market to talk about and to only buy micro caps, then the chances are you can never at some point say to yourself, I've had a multi-cycle place, or I actually made a very good amount and I focused on a large cap as an investment tool, right? So you've got to consider the fact that obviously Grayscale has Sui, they have Tau as well. So they're offering, and this is absolutely live now. You can see here a new share price as of today, or as of yesterday when it launched. You've got the and you can actually download the entire data. But look, in terms of returns, Sui pad is just a how high do you want to go in terms of ROI? I think I was one of the first people to talk about SuiPad. I actually did a buy alert for this $4 million, $2 million. It went to, what is it, $700,000 in market cap. So could this go? I mean, listen, 7 million. Sorry, someone's calling me. Sorry, yeah, I just got a call from someone. Yeah, Zilla's calling me. Let me tell him. Let me just tell him. So yeah, so look, SuiPad, you've got Cetus protocol on Sui. SuiPad could do 100x, of course. Not financial advice. 700k in market cap. It's really nothing. You've got, this is always going to move with Sui and Aptos, especially with Sui. So Sui goes up, it goes up. Sui goes down, it goes down. $20 million. I think last time I checked, it was around 14. Oh, okay, it's $19 million now. So yeah, I think this whole entire ecosystem is going to be incredible. And I think if anyone's trying to fade Sui because of the market cap, then they don't know what they're doing in crypto. Now, in terms of entry, this is a different question. I think I posted this at 76. Then I think 87 or 88 cents or 82 cents. I can't remember what it was in our group. And then obviously 92, and now it's obviously going to go and tap around that $162 the last time I checked. So yes, Sui is a fantastic project. I think don't be scared by the market cap. You should be able to have some safety net. It's one of the few cryptocurrencies that performs really well against Bitcoin. And there's a chart that I have. Where is the chart? So let me show you something, guys. So certain big caps, you got to track them against BTC. And Sui's chart recently, look, this is Sui versus BTC. And it broke up here. So this is what I was monitoring when I was actually doing the Sui analysis about here, around that price. And this was actually going up against Bitcoin. So sometimes that performance against Bitcoin, if it breaks up against Bitcoin, of course, bit of resistance there, but ultimately it will outperform Bitcoin in the long run. Just like Solana. Look at Solana versus BTC. It's coming down a bit now, but throughout the most of the year, Solana was just ripping up BTC with massive candles. Look, especially this run here. You know, from there, and I think Sui could do something like this. You know, look at that. It's 4x against BTC just in a very short space of time. So, and that's since September only. And of course, in the previous cycle, and this is where I try to see what Sui is doing now. So if you take the, if you take that run, yeah, it did like 16x against BTC. So that is the strength you're looking for. And I think that's why Sui, again, Casper is another solid one. So this is Casper's all-time performance against Bitcoin. And you can see here, look, it's always been, if we go back to the daily, again, starting to break up against BTC, very, very good strength. This is Ethereum versus BTC, right? And look how bad it is. It's been in that horrible, horrible channel. Look at that. I mean, that is, you know, that is ridiculous. I mean, it is the worst chart you'll ever see against Bitcoin. And that goes back to many, many years. But ultimately, alt season, what you're looking for is this Ethereum chart to break up against BTC. It's very simple, you know, like overcomplicating charts in terms of analysis is really waste of time. You just have to look at the direction and see when it breaks up. So right now, it has underperformed, and we can only make money in this space when ETH just moves against BTC quite significantly. So that is a horrible return if you held kind of altcoins against Bitcoin by and large. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to what Sui's going to do. I think Sui's going to make us money. I think as soon as the X1 launches, what was it? The Sui. Yeah, this is, so what this does is it literally gets rid of latency of Web3 gaming. And if anything, when they launch this, I think you can already order this device, but when they launch this, when you pre-order and launch this, it's going to be insane. This is why Sui is being looked at as the innovator in the gaming, in Web3 gaming, because for the first time, you've got a piece of Web3 hardware. So think of Sui as the Apple of crypto potentially. And they've got ex-Apple executives as well. Mr. Labs are frigging beasts. So the argument is always, yeah, everybody wants to buy Casper because it's a block DAG, but where would retail go? I mean, you could see, you know, this ships with two Web3 gaming that are pretty decent as well. So my thesis for Sui is we obviously, where we can, we get in. Is it overvalued at this dollar price? Because it hasn't been a core play from the start, what you do is you wait for the news, you wait for September to conclude, you see what happens next week, then you take your bid. If it goes under $1, I think it's a solid long-term investment. And I think it's something that you can come back for in the next cycle and play with as well, because I don't think Sui is just a one cycle cryptocurrency. Cubic is coming with a tidal wave. Yeah, let's look at Cubic, bro. So Cubic is another one. And Cubic, for me, if you've got Cubic, if you've got exposure to Cubic, great. It's going back up to $1,600 per billion. Now, the exposure here is just about a billion Cubic, or even 500 million for some people, because the price, look, volume has gone up significantly. They had that Mexi listing. Have a look. Yeah, so they're doing now. Gates and Mexi are pulling in the biggest volume on Sui. I mean, on Cubic. What I would say with Cubic is people have to do their own research on it, because I think Cubic, if you know, you know. If you don't, I think it could be in terms of the tokenomics. There's a token burn. There's supply reduction. This is a proof of, I think, proof of useful work, layer one, that is literally a project. If they can deliver, it's quite frightening, the capabilities. But so far, the team is obviously working. We're trying to work on bringing them onto the channel, courtesy of Cliff. Hopefully that works. Let me sniff this. But yeah, definitely, bro. I think there's good things coming for that project. I would say, you know, where there's risk, there's high reward. And I think that should be the case with some of these projects. Whoever bought Ted and Creo last month, yo, yes, absolutely. What's up, Kosa? Hope you're doing well. Definitely. Big Yeti in the building. Hope you're doing well, brother. Team is strong. Yep. We go. Let me see. Feel better, brother. Let's get it. Yeah, I feel better, man. I'm coming back with some more heat, bro. So yeah, look, guys. Overall, I'm incredibly positive about this cycle, man. I think the only thing I would say is are we fucking strong enough? Are we strong enough to hold off wasting our last bit of reserves in buying altcoins? Let me see. There's so many comments. I'm so behind, guys. Guys, smash the like button. I think we are. Your caveman's flooded, bro. Stay safe out there, man. Alv, I can see $100 Alv. Peter, you know what? Honestly, this is, like I said, man, $100 Alf is, let's see, you know, I mean, $100 Alf will be incredible. But I would say if we can even look at, let me just look at a $9 billion Alf. I've never seen what a $9 billion Alf looks like. Holy crap. It's time for moon cases, man. Coinbase. Yeah, so you guys, I don't know if you saw my my video yesterday, but I went into their GitHub, and yeah, they're already building the Ledger wallets, which is quite nice. Someone was asking in the Discord. Peter said, "Yep, not ever fully selling." Yeah, you have to have that exposure. Johnny said, "Is Octa a value?" Octa has always been very stubborn in terms of dipping below back $1. Let me grease the wheels a little bit. Yeah, Octa's being kind of stubborn, man. Everybody wanted to buy this at 60 cents, 80 cents. Volume down 22% to 400,000. I think if I'm being completely frank, what would do Octa really, really well would be some exchange listings. So right now they've got Mexi and CoinX. And then, of course, Safe Trade was the place to gold mine this and that other funny exchange there. But Mexi is where all the volume is happening. But I could see this. I mean, listen, at the moment, $48 million in market cap. Market cap's up by 7.8%. Yeah, listen, I could see this project doing well. This is a decent, very good cryptocurrency. The only thing I would say is once the marketing gets going, because obviously this was a fair launch, so you have to always bear that in mind. Whereas, for example, the other ones, you know, they've got marketing machines that can do whatever. But the team has been building, and I think I can see this going. You know, I can see this doing really well. Is it value at today's entry price? Yeah, I think it is. But I would say market cap is up, so I would just wait for this price to dip because the volume's dipping. So yeah, don't rush into it. Yo, Ram from India. Namaste, my brother. How are you? Get well soon. Yeah, man, look, I'm soldiering on. Listen, if I'm here when I'm sick, what do you think is going to happen when I'm healthy? Crypto makes you healthy anyway. Hello, brother. I still have a position in Cross Network. Opinion on this one. Ooh, Crew. Crew was one of my favorite Deepin projects, even before Deepin. Look, the funny thing about Cross is it pumps with the Deepin narrative. If we look at let's see if I can get a smaller 1 year. Yeah, you can see that. Look, if you check the all-time chart, you're just gonna run, right? It just doesn't make sense. People think, but look how I'll cross this, right? Came out in 2022, monumental run, and then of course that is, you know, obviously you can see these spikes in volume, and then obviously you come into the bear market. You just have to go deeper into it, but that chart has been declining. Having said that, it had pumped within this year, obviously with the Deepin projects. You can see here from February, it had a nice gains. I would say, look, A, what's your point of entry? B, there are new Deepin projects. First cycle, better, in my opinion, in terms of, look, there's still only what, $35 million in market cap, if I can see that. So still small micro cap, and has been here for many, many years. The only thing I would say with your money is if you have a good entry, you take profit of that and you buy one of these first cycle Deepin projects. Decentralized storage. And this is a problem I have when a project is looking at one side of Deepin, right? So now you've got projects that provide cloud computing, VPN services, decentralized storage, and a lot more things. So yeah, I would get out of this, brother. I wouldn't hold this into the top of the cycle. Adam said Trump is good for crypto. Yeah, she's actually, I think he's good for both, in my opinion. We don't care who wins. Obviously, majority of us are not Americans, but you know, we love those battles in the Midwest election season. The real PG said tech term. Let's fucking go, bro. Don't make me laugh tonight, man. Tonight is one of those nights where I'll just cough forever. Yeah, Rodeo said, how is broke? Yeah, broke is doing well, brother. 1000x. Mo said, G-File going to Dubai. I think Binance listing is inevitable. It's BSC. Your thoughts? Look, finally, I think they're going to dust off Trip Hawkins. So one thing we got to give them is recently they came out of the shadows a little bit, and but this has been a micro cap stablecoin forever. Now people want to see pumps. It never got past that 4 cents, a massive sell-off. So look, I can see why, and it's shown strength. To be fair, at 1 cent, is stuck to it like glue. So I can see a case for that, but look, I do hold this, and I think their CEO has relocated to Dubai, and yeah, hopefully they get going. They start doing Creo. But Binance listing is the biggest, and it is probably the exchange that has the most manipulation to the upside, more than Coinbase, more than any other. Binance is the largest exchange globally. So if they list on Binance, still hold a decent bag, I'd be very happy. Steve, Pendle is the one that got away, that keeps getting away. I love Pendle. One thing that depresses me is Pendle was on my radar last year. Never really thought anything of it. In my research, I didn't obviously do my work properly. And if you look at this, where it came from in a short space of time, if you bought this last year, 75 cents, 34 cents, and look at that. I mean, this is what you're looking for. Anybody would be happy to end their bull market right now from Pendle. But I still see, look, I'm not put away by the, $537 million market cap. I think Pendle at around that $2, and I think it dipped briefly under $2 recently, or about $2. Where was it? Yeah, about that $2. It was a fantastic buy. Volume up. This is a coin that is full of money, very liquid. And this is going to grow towards the end of the market because people start doing more yield farming, towards the height of the cycle. So I can see this doing really well. It's a first class project. So when you look at the $500 million market cap and somebody says it can do a 10x to 5 billion, maybe it could do more. It's just literally, you got big backers, big boy money in there. Said most are decimated. That's a great gaming token. Decimated token. Yes, it is a great gaming token. I haven't seen how much where it is right now. Dio. Yeah, it's one of those small micro caps I think that could do well. The only thing is, I see the listings. I think it's on Mexi as well. No, it's on Radium, Sol, CoinX, Gate. See what the volume is saying. Hardly any volume in it at all at the moment. Yeah, but it's one of those that could potentially take off. Aiming to make this my call. Dynex Octa, IAG, and so probably AGI, SNEC, Corpo. Johnny, you've got the risk appetite. That's fantastic. Tectum $10. Real G for allocation. Let's go through these. Sui market cap is the same as its all-time high now. That's my only concern. Yeah, I think, listen, if you wait for the pullback, but realistically speaking, in a bigger cycle, in a institutional cycle, where do you see $2-3 billion? That's the only question. And the other factor as well is that some projects will not even be questioned. People are so sure they'll go to 100 billion, 200 billion. So if you're looking at a potential Solana killer, if you're looking at potentially something you can come back for the bear market, if you're looking at something with institutional money, funding, and all of that, where they really want to push this. So this SUI is more about the competition at the top of the crypto pyramid. So it is, of course, it is always a risk. We don't know what's going to be going to third, but could it realistically go to a BNB type of level? Could it take fourth spot? Let's look at the top 100. Let's see what projects are there right now. So forget Bitcoin, forget ETH. So really look, the fourth largest project in crypto right now is BNB. Then you have Solana at 63 billion. Of course, you got XRP over here, 56. Sorry, where is it? XRP, 31 billion. Then you've got Dogecoin up. Then you have a massive gap there. And then you got Dogecoin. Then, of course, you've got the likes of Ton at 14, 13 billion Tron, 12 billion Cardano. Avalanche is tucked away there. And I think there's a lot of things going on in Avalanche right now that will see this token be sending soon. But then if you look at the top 100, you start to realize that some of the reasons why, for example, you look at Casper, you look at the look where SUI is, 2.7 billion in market cap. So could this go up 26 places? Render, then of course, guys, is not really based on market cap alone. Buying quality, like as long as it's reasonable, it's a hedge. It's a hedge to de-risk your money in a bull cycle. So at least if you consider that, it's okay in that sense, because you can come back next bear market, add some more, it becomes a multi-cycle play. Now I'm not saying, but you should hold 5 or 6 large caps. That's shit. We're here to make money. We're not here to sit on the table with people like Arthur Hayes and all these whales. We're not whales, right? We're not Bitcoin maxis. But look, if you take that logic, right, and you see the top 100, and you start taking out Bitcoin and Ethereum, and you take out Tether, and look, BNB, honestly, something's going to come for it. Now, of course, Binance is always going to be Binance, and BNB is, of course, the 4th largest crypto by market cap. But you start looking at the hype and what's going for it. I can genuinely see a situation where SUI charges up the market cap rankings along with Casper. Is of course, Render as well. So it's not one big market cap that can move, but several of these. Look, Tau at $2 billion. The market cap is only relative to the actual general, the relative value of what the chain can offer, right? TVL. Another one here, HBAR, right? If you're looking for deep value, this is bear market prices. And of course, no eyes are on this right now. This is the worst time. I mean, look at that, 15% down in volume, $1.8 billion in market cap. Hedera HBAR went to $14 billion. RWA Promise run up hard. Don't discount these large caps, because I think once the whales are done with their Bitcoin, the whales are the ones that we hope to come and buy our micro caps. So what will they do? They'll get that 20, 30, 20x, 10x, 15x's, and they start then coming down the risk curve. So yeah, it's a very good question about SUI, but I think the question goes beyond SUI, and I think it's a wider discussion on the top 100. That's how I see it personally. But yeah, very good question. and I can see why you'd be concerned. That's why I'm actually waiting for any other surprises with the market, so I can even put more money into maybe SUI. But in terms of like pure value, I see, for example, ALF as an easy catch right now to get to $5 billion. Yo, Zilla in the building. What's going on, bro? Hope you're well. Big man think my wife is sitting in the couch and now asks me why. Co says drinking man. That is wild. Look, we've got a El Professor. You know, you've got to qualify as to why it's shit, and you know, we're not going to discriminate, but I politely disagree with you, man. I think you're talking a lot of shit. When you say shit, do you say it's shit because it's got no use case? Would you say it's shit because it offers no upside? Would you say shit because of the technology? What do you exactly mean? So Tectum hit $10. Great. Wait for the pullbacks. Thinking of swapping Prime into SUI. Once it gets to 850, Echelon Prime. Yeah, I mean, listen, that's Echelon Prime. You know, I like Echelon Prime. I think it's a good token. From the market cap perspective, the AI gaming has a lot going for it. Could he give you more returns than SUI? It's certainly the smaller market cap, and I think it's potentially a blue chip, of course, a future blue chip. So, yeah, it's a tough one. Layer 1 versus a gaming project. He said, not telling how high these could go. Proof of work coins can go like ALF. People think cash. Yeah, absolutely, bro. What's your prediction for Jasmine? Jasmine was the love of my life in the bear market, brother. But since I sold it, I haven't followed it, to be honest. And right now it's a big market cap. So look, a lot of people have always spoken against Jasmine, and it's proven people wrong because time and time again it pumped. Again, it's one of these. You really just need to look at the year chart on Jazz. Never ever look. So yeah, from literally from last February here, it just started to take off, and then obviously it's now what, $900 billion market cap, maybe 5x, 10x here. But don't discount against this. Got all the listings, and they've changed their website. I thought because the old one was horrible. Yeah, still, I mean, these guys, man. Listen, I won't be surprised if there's some kind of a Japanese government link here, because I don't know how this pumps. Jasmine's around. I don't know. It's hard for me to price Jazz. Do you like Parcel on Solana? I've never bought Parcel, but I know about it. And to be honest, I haven't done any kind of any deep analysis on Parcel at all. I think it's RWA, was it? It's a good token. I wonder if it had inflation. Solana is kind of like right now speculate on rising and falling of real estate market. See, that's too niche for me. Yeah, that's just way too niche for an RWA project. So yeah, I think, listen, the only bullish aspect here would be the Solana. It could pump, no doubt. But I'm not sure. I'd rather see a bit more use case for an RWA play. Render, I think, gets into a decent market cap. I think Render it has a challenge right now that it's never had before from low caps and mid caps. So if you look at Render now, let's go back to Render. We were just looking at Render a second ago. Yeah, I'd probably say, look, $100 Render. So let's go back to the all-time chart here. We went to, I think it peaked here at around $12. Yeah, I'd see $50. um, as a realistic target. And of course, beyond that, I would probably say it goes maybe to that $60-70 mark. But yeah, very, very good project. But the only problem that you've got is with render, you've got, for example, you've got ATH, which is $200 million in market cap. You've got, and again, I'm just talking about in terms of the overall, of course, render has Disney, render has massive, massive backing. But you've got ATH here, you've got IONET. So from a GPU perspective, and then you've obviously got the likes of Okta, Dynex offering GPU, not the same thing, but I think there's a bit more competition than the last cycle for sure. So yeah, expect good things from render, but I would consider render to be in that range. Yo, Jams, what's going on? What's up, DXP? Hope you're doing well. Lurking in the shadows, a small bag of open fabric. Do you think I should consolidate that into AI tech? I'm down 80. Yeah, so I said earlier, Jams. Anyway, first of all, thank you for the wishes. I would not sell OFN in this current state. And the reason why I wouldn't sell is I just have this rule of something that's 80% down is just literally throwing money away, especially knowing that there's still volume in the project and it hasn't completely died out. Now, let's have a look at where they bring in. So look how bad this is. I mean, if you sell 2%, if you sell $300, you impact the price negatively by $300. But if you buy $800 of it, the price goes up by 2%. So there's really, really there's hardly any liquidity in the project right now. And when things are like that, I would not bother selling. Get your, say you put 1,000 and you get $200 back. I think that's just no point. I'll just let it sit, to be honest, until there's a confirmation. With some of these projects, if you have that mindset where at 80% you're willing to let it go to zero, then I think you'd be surprised the number of times that, because it's not going to take a lot of money to move this, but what's going for it, it is a layer one, and it's in the AI category and one of the few on the Binance Smart Chain. So yeah, just sit tight on it, and I think you'd find money to add to your AI tech bag. Because if I told you to switch now, I'll be telling you to lose 80% of your investment, and that's just nothing to actually advise somebody on. Will Kai Network be the next Casper? I think it's a tough one because Casper's grabbed that fair launch narrative, that block dag, the Jonathan Sompolinsky's white paper. There's a lot of difference between the two, of course, but Kai Network in its own right, I think is a huge project. Regardless of what people think, this one is going to be one of those that at least grabs attention. And I saw that they were doing some chain mascots on their Twitter page. So the timing of the launch is not ideal, in my opinion, because sometimes you just need to have a little bit of traction to get that look and feel. But I certainly think this is absolutely humongous. I think this will be one of the best or one of the biggest proof of work projects. Quality is just the test net I played about with the airdrop as well. So I'm expecting big things from this. However, because Casper is well established, it's just very difficult to compare the two. But look out for Kai Network, I would say, to investors, because it's a good project. Yo, Mr. Gregory, hope you're doing well. By the way, big up yourself on Drift Protocol, which you called out. And I sort of thought about it. Now, Drift has been doing really well. Not the best tokenomics, and the use case has all been betted on the election and a few other things like that. And it had a massive pump. Look, one day pump 23%, $151 million in market cap. And I would probably say If you wanted to bet on the election, I think, or if you wanted to trade this into the election, you can. I think it picks up really nicely. Will Trump win? Yes or no? So so this is what drift is literally becoming right now. You can actually bet and take bets by connecting your wallet on the direction of the market. Obviously, when we talked about it, it was much better, but I don't really see it beyond what it does beyond the election. You know, it's leverage. Okay, pre-launch markets, speculate. So it's all betting, speculation. But yeah, good stuff, man. Good work, bro. Yeah, Rafa. So CAS has been stuck at that level, and of course, it takes a lot of money to move that market cap, right? And the good thing is, there's not a lot of sell pressure when it comes to Casper. So it's almost like you start to feel like you've got a massive breakout imminent for Casper, and I think that's eventually what happens. I was doing some kind of fib extensions for Casper, and you know, kind of the realistic levels immediately, like, you know, the 30, about that 28 to 30 cents level. Not obviously doesn't shoot up straight away from here. It's going to have other price points, but it's almost like people are looking at Casper. Look, the gains from the bottom, 8,983% or 89,834% from the lows, right? So what I would probably expect to see with CAS is, because it's not breaking down and it hasn't really come down below. I mean, look at that. If you zoom in the chart, you can see these spikes in volume here. That was a sell-off. And you can see it's going to take more and more money to move CAS, but I think eventually it comes. It's been doing just tremendously on these dips. Doesn't give people opportunities to actually buy significant amounts. Kosa in the building. Sunwoo. How do you invest your crypto profits at the end of the cycle? Do you buy properties, gold, stock? Adam, very good question. I did a whole thing about, I did a whole presentation in the group. I think it's a very good question in terms of opening yourself, first of all, to the idea of becoming an international citizen, because many of us are locally comfortable, and I think that's a problem. I think people should look at crypto-friendly countries. I think people should be able to get a good tax, good accountant, or you guys call it tax attorneys or whatever. But yeah, you should have a decent accountant. You should be able to afford to get a decent accountant that's going to help you manage the money. And I think you should have a business plan. Now, in terms of a business, a lot of the businesses that I know of, because I came from business myself. I used to run my own business. We still have businesses within the family, myself included. And you realize how capital intensive they are, right? You know, we're here, you know, invested and working and doing day jobs. It's a lot easier when you own something with your hard-earned money. And nobody on this life can say, or nobody can tell you in your family that when you make your 25, 30x on your portfolio collectively and you make life-changing money and you come out the other side absolutely burnt, drained, tired, and people look at you and tell you, oh, you made this money from crypto? You're lucky. It's basically like the Shiba Inu mentality, right? And you'd be surprised the number of people that don't actually rate your struggle. Like, you know, you'd go out with dinner with people and say, oh yeah, you know, I made money in crypto, and they think you traded yourself to 100x or you became lucky. So the first thing to do, I think, is to have a multiple streams of passive income, like literally. So crypto is one. You could do some staking and you can earn some yields, but that will be a small portion. You've got to have at least 2 or 3 accounts, bank accounts. You've got to have multi-currency bank accounts, not just any bank accounts. They've got to be solid multi-currency accounts. I would say in terms of investment, the first thing I do is always take my cash. You know, everybody talks about how the dollar is going to collapse, but they forget that, of course, USDT is the dollar. So straight away, I like if I sell, like say I sell something on Mexi or Binance or something, I'd stick that into the ledger. I'd always have 2 or 3 wallets, maybe 4, just to be safe. So the first aspect of it is moving money, and that's going to be probably one of the biggest stresses for everybody, because you won't believe the amount of people that will be sending money on the wrong network to the and you say it's not going to happen to me, but trust me. So the first thing you got to do is make sure that you get money off the exchange in a safe manner. I was listening to Vitalik on the Lex Friedman show, and he was talking about how he was moving money, or he was moving large amounts of tokens, Ethereum and USDT, whatever, and he developed a code to ensure that his ledger or whatever he was using, his cold storage, was not bugged. Now, the length that people go through to protect their bull market gains is unbelievable. But the first problem you're going to have, few problems. One, you buy a coin, has no liquidity, does incredible amounts of numbers. Everybody's trying to take profit at the same time. Exchange is laggy. It's telling you can't transfer Solana. You can't transfer, just like we saw with the Solana run. You know, everybody's messaging me, "Oh, Mexi it's not allowing me to take my Solana." You're going to get much worse. You're going to see that you can't actually move stable coins at times, and it's going to feel like a very, very eerie place. But once you stash this money away into 3, 4 hardware wallets, you just have to have a plan. But stocks is an option. Property, definitely. Many people say do not buy property. I would say most of you, everybody who's got a mortgage, should consider doing something about it. Come over to a place like Dubai, tax-free. There's plenty of good businesses that you can start here. Although, to be honest, everybody that I know in crypto tries to do Airbnb. It's kind of like saturated at the moment. But it depends what you want. You could trade globally. You could trade commodities. And I'm talking about physical commodities. You could do import-export business. I don't know, whatever your passion is. But definitely do not limit yourself to one geographic location. Sweet. Ronaldo's picture. Yeah, I looked into LCX it was one of my we had no choice but to look into LCX in the bear market. And I gave it a pass at the time. I really don't see, maybe in a different cycle. I see the regulation, the RWA aspect, the completely, there's a lot going for LCX, but yeah, it's never been one that I invested into. Yeah, midnight, I think $5. I would run with it. I actually did that price. I did that discussion today in the Discord. Yeah, I think $5 everybody will be selling. Bull case, $9, if that. But listen, $5, I'd be incredibly happy with it. $3, I'll take it. And it sounds bearish because the market cap then would be around $700 to $800 million. But even a $1 billion market cap by then would be a fantastic return. Yo, what's going on, bro? I got into Jasmy at the all-time low. Fantastic. And I think $1 is crazy. Yeah, listen, Jazz, I was hoping for that. But listen, do not discount Jasmy, bro. There's great things for it. If I said 10x from here, that would be $10 billion, right? So yeah, just the market cap you've got to consider. SMH, smash the like buttons. Yeah, SMH, what is it doing these days? Well, I was so happy to get SMH off my my PC, if I'm being honest. What really put me off was the wallet, and that friggin', they made a monumental mistake. They should have separated their wallets. I think there's a wallet now developed by the community, but this was at $4 recently, $4.50 or something. And ever since, it's just been on a monumental decline. In an ideal world, this would be one of the decentralized projects on the planet. Everybody can actually, secure the network. You can mine this at home. But listen, at this is a risk. High risk, high reward. 54 cents for $4. I mean, the gains alone to back to that would be incredible. Not sure if you mentioned it, but you've seen the UK property bill for digital assets, and they weigh. Oh yeah, Carl. I saw a lot of UK. So UK crypto bill I saw. That would be fantastic, because this was actually on the government website. I don't know if you saw this yesterday. A new bill introduced into Parliament to clarify crypto's legal status, and I think this was, for me, this was actually the overriding news. This is bullish. So tech-savvy owners of Bitcoin and other digital assets will be benefiting from greater legal protection thanks to the important clarification to the law. This was published yesterday. I think this deserves a lot of attention, and the reason for that is because the UK, as you know, I have like a Revolut, Monzo. I still have my Building Society bank account in Halifax, having lived here for 14 years as well. So it's almost like crypto on the, it's just so limited. And now finally you've got this in the Parliament. I think this is, I'm going to do I'm going to do another video on this. This is super bullish. So previous digital assets belongings were not definitively included in the scope of the English and Welsh property law. So this is what you're talking about, leaving owners in a legal gray area where assets were interfered with. The law will therefore also give legal protection to owners and companies against fraud and scams, while helping judges deal with complex cases where digital holdings are disputed. If the wife steals the hardware wallet, you can now go to court in the UK. Oh man. So Justice Minister Heidi Alexander said our world-leading legal services form a pivotal part of the economy, helping to drive forward the growth and keeping Britain, I love this, keeping Britain at the heart of the international legal industry. So they're actually celebrating this from a legal perspective. Good old Britain, eh? Today's news also means that the UK legal sector will be better equipped to respond to new technology. Guys, the inventors of the industrial age, the largest empire the world has ever seen. This is the great British legal system catching up to digital asset. We should be leading this shit. We want to attract more businesses and investment to the legal services industry. What about the digital? And it's already, they acknowledge it's already actually worth 34 billion a year to the British economy. For fuck's sake. It's estimated English law governs 250 billion global mergers and acquisitions, 40% of global corporate arbitrations. So keeping the law up in the UK is vital to ensure. Very good. And then they go on, of course, NFTs, digital carbon credits. Hey, Who's buying that? What was that bear market carbon credit project? That was just Green World. Currently, there are two categories of properties: things in possession, gold, money, and cars, and of course, things in action, debt, shares, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, very good. I like it. In fact, we're going to X that, guys. Guys, follow me on X. I need to see more of the family over there. Because sometimes me put some gems over there, you know. Follow me on X if you can. It will be greatly appreciated. Every single one of you should be with me over there. Why not? And I'm just going to drop my X shamelessly into the comments. Since I'm not selling a course, by the way. Yeah, good stuff, Carl. Good shout, bro. I don't know if I should say this, but why isn't anyone talking about Sakura Protocol? Max, what on earth is that? It's under the radar. Gems, I believe. Sakura Protocol, that sounds like a very good samosa from Dubai's Karama. Let me check. Sakura Protocol. If these turn up to be 100x potential gems, ooh, let's have a look. All-time charts here. Sell off, Mexi, BitGet, Aerodrome, on base. Is it on base as well? Multi-chain, yeah. Aerodrome. No, it's actually not on Aerodrome. BNB. I don't know what it is, but we will find out in a minute. What's the other one? Lightlink. Sakura.com. I mean, this is a tiny, tiny ass consumer-centric layer 2, zero transaction fees. Nah, thank you very much. Yeah, that's a pile of yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what that is. Lightlink. Let's see if this one is more promising. 1.5 million again. Microcap gem. Shit chart. The gasless blockchain network for enterprises and dApps with millions of users. Have they got millions of users? So this is another Ethereum layer 2 blockchain, and lets dApps and enterprises offer users instant blah, blah, blah layer 2s. Listen, layer 2s could make a comeback. What is this? Who's backing them? Who are you? Roadmap 2017. So this is an older, let me see, how long have they, when did they launch? December this year? No, 2022. So they came out in a bad amount of time. I don't know. Yeah, no one's going to buy this. Circulating supply is shit. Layer 2, I'd rather put that money into Manta, or I don't know. And I've recently just sold Manta, so the chances of me buying something like this are very slim. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing going for this. But yeah, thank you very much for recommending this. Tom said, what are your favorite microcaps in Sui? I like CETAs. I do like the look of course, Sui Pad. I like turbos. But if I had to pick one to actually concentrate on, it would be CETA's protocol. Because I think CETAs is a double DEX for Aptos and Sui. I'm bullish on Sui. And I think Move will get another stake in terms of the overall market cap. So here's my list of Sui projects. Also, I don't know if you've ever checked FUD the Pub. That's their leading. Let's see, let's go here. Yeah, I think if you focus on CETAs, you'll do really well. I think if you trade something like I don't know, Navi, or Navi is also decent, but if you trade something like Sui Pad, because launch pads are highly seasonal, you'll do well out of that. But this is what I track in the Sui ecosystem. Number one meme coin on Sui, FUD the Pub. Number one DEX, CETA's protocol up to 7 cents. This was at 4 or 5 cents just 48 hours ago. Second highest TVL after CETA's is Navi. And then, of course, you got Turbo's Finance here. But I wouldn't really, I do track Turbos, but I haven't thought about buying Turbos. But yeah, CETA's is where you need to be. And SuiSwap is just not really great at all. I have microcaps like Blender, Corpo, Shrapnel, AIT protocol. All I need is how much should I expect? Getting greedy. A lot of YouTube. But when should I start selling? Yeah, I think you've got a problem because I don't see any safety net there. First of all, I think then that puts you into a position of hopium, which is not good. But I do believe that some of these that you have will do incredible numbers. I can't give you an exact number right now for all of them, but you need some safety in that. You need to wear some protection. Your portfolio right now is close to the Mpox virus, because what you're betting on is all of these micro caps will go do 50x from here. But if you add, say, something even in the region of $100 million in market cap, you would sleep better at night. So grab yourself some Alephium as a layer one. I'm not even going to recommend Sui to you, brother, but start focusing in the next few months in building a position in a layer one like Alephium. You still have risk, but I think you've gone with the bang. So get some protection, protect yourself, protect your investment. It may well be a situation where, say, Alf does 20x for you and some of these blow off like insane. But in terms of a portfolio, I couldn't take that absolute serious because you have to have a balance. Pulse Chain. Peter, are you Australian, brother? Because the strongest Pulse Chain community in the world is from Australia. So Pulse Chain and Hex is the story of my bear market. Hex to some extent bull market. So I tasted a little bit of money from Hex. I love watching Richard Hart. And if you remember in the previous cycles, Richard Hart was a stable in terms of crypto YouTube. Richard Hart was the biggest mover of charts. And what I see with Pulse Chain, I got out of Pulse Chain, I sold it. As soon as they got it on the Mexi listing, I got rid of it. So let's talk about the pluses. So you've got Richard Hart, who's obviously larger than life. You've got the strongest possible, one of the strongest communities in crypto are the Hexicans. But the way they've done this launch and the way it kind of destroyed Hex was really, really bad. This pinata stuff, you've got the people's, what do they call it? The people's internet. So lot of bollocks, in my opinion, because look, I was holding Pulse Chain from sacrifice to basically the bottom, and I got rid of it, and I'm glad I did. I had a slightly better luck with Pulse X because of the buy and burn. But right now, the bet here is obviously a hedge against Ethereum. So in the SAC wallet, he's got tons of Ethereum, and I'm sure he's going to pump. Once he's out of this legal cloud, he's going to try and pump some of this ecosystem. But with what's done well so far, I think, apart from Pulse X and PDAI and some meme coins, yeah, I don't think, look, it could still be maybe a 10x, but it's just the amount of expectation for Pulse Chain was such that Pulse Chain basically took down Hex. They did that really ridiculous airdrop, the world's largest airdrop. But if he gets out of the legal wranglings he's in right now, then you never know. But I would actually put the money away from Pulse Chain, and maybe if you really, really want to stay in a Richard Hart ecosystem, go with a Pulse X, because Pulse X will outperform this. And there's still, I mean, the tokenomics, it's just too many tokens. Sacrifice phase was just too much. And yeah, Pulse X is probably a better bet. But yeah, it's sad. You know, I had to let it go. It wasn't that easy for me. Yeah, Patriot, NaviX, absolutely, bro. DXP moment on commercial real estate will be absolutely the best thing to buy in the next 10 years. Yeah, this crash would be epic. Very good point. I think that's another, that is another, you know, something to look at. If we get a housing crash like we did back in 2008, especially commercial real estate, that would be insane. Yeah, Belter said Pulse. Yeah, NaviX is sick. Yeah, absolutely. I do love Cetus only because of the dual token, dual utility with this. Holding my earnings and waiting for the epic real estate crash. Yeah, that's going to be. Octa is the only child in crypto that looks solid as Cas. Yep, Octa doesn't go down, man. That's strength. Yeah, guys, please grab my X. If you could follow me on X, I'd really appreciate it. DXP Crypto 1-to-1. Yeah, let's go. I think that's it. We've done a marathon. This is my welcome back stream. Oh, you forgot. Oh, come on, man. Come on, brother. Oh, Lord. Listen, you are a legend. Look, on that note, I think I've done nearly 5 hours, 2 hours actually. I'm going to go and get me some lockets and strepsils. So, guys, it's been fantastic to be back. And God bless you all. And I see you on the next one. Take it easy. Cheers, guys. Yeah, and follow me on X. Good night.